We're so glad you're spending time with us today. Your support is always appreciated here at CSL. Remember, there's several ways to give. As you watch today's service, you can click on the donate button right here on Facebook or donate at our homepage, cslftl.org. There's also a regular giving program called TPL, where you can set up a monthly contribution. You'll find details on our website, cslftl.org. Here's a great way to stay in touch with CSL Center for Spiritual Living. It's our brand new app available in the App Store under Center for Spiritual Living, FL, and that's Florida. Make sure you say hello to everyone today in the comment section and let us know your thoughts. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the celebration. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, yeah. CSL's going on, Antonio. Maylene.
CSL is going on.
Yes.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, CSL.
Happy Independence Weekend. So stand up and sing
Let's stand up
like
and
you
make a
free.
joyful noise.
Sing like you free. Hey.
There we go.
We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. Yeah. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love.
All right, all right. One more time for our band, The Reflections. What a great way to start off our service. Good morning. My name is Todd Maznicki on behalf of the Center for Spiritual Living, Fort Lauderdale. I want to welcome all of you here, joining us in person in the sanctuary or on YouTube, Facebook Live, or our own website, CSL FTL. We're so glad that you're here. If you're joining us for the first time in the sanctuary, we have a special gift for you just for being here. If you haven't filled out our guest card, please do so at guest services in the lobby after the service. And just let us know how you found out about us, share your name and email address so we can put you on our monthly e-newsletter. And we have a small token of our appreciation for you being here. If you're a first-time guest and you're online, please let us know in the comment section or visit our website's Contact Us tab, and you can complete the inquiry form there. While you're there, please take a tour of our website, and you can learn more about us and also find out about all the events and classes and programs we have going on, and you'll be able to get our e-newsletter as well. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, and also download our app listed as Center for Spiritual Living, FL, which stands for Fort Lauderdale. We'd also love it if you would reshare our posts on social media or share our app with your followers and friends. At CSL, we have an intention statement that says who we are and how we want to be present in the world. So I ask if you'd all please stand and join me. We will say it together. We're together. And afterwards, please greet your neighbor with a hello or a handshake. And remember, some people still might be practicing some form of social distancing. So CSL Fort Lauderdale, who are we? We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service. Thank you.
Wow, that is absolutely one of my absolute favorite songs. I do a weekly podcast called Voices of Unity, and my co-host is Faith Rivera, and she's the author and the downloader of that song. What I love about that song, it says, whatever we do, God is. Why? Because you are God in the flesh. And if you're new to CSL, we're not talking about a God that's on a mountain shelling out gifts. We're talking about the God, the love, the energy, the vibration, the spirit that has created all things that have created you, the power you have to change your life. This is the God we're talking about. So if you don't know me, I'm Reverend Skip Jennings, and I'm your spiritual director here in this beautiful place we call home. If this is your first time, I want to let you know you are in a place where you can experience love at the fullest of yourself. I am so grateful that we get to celebrate, because right now half of our community is out on a march right now for justice, social justice. So I'm going to ask you to bring that movement into our hearts, into our consciousness. I call it spiritual justice because it moves from a place of inclusivity, diversity, equality, and that is the presence of life. So I welcome you into this space. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Independence Weekend, but I want to say this. The independence that we're talking about today is divine independence that goes beyond the independence of a country, the independence of freedom from a relationship. It calls forth you to know your divine authority that has been with you since time itself. So that's what we're celebrating. So happy Spiritual Independence Weekend. Can you look at someone and say happy spiritual independence? Yes, that's what we're celebrating. So if you're brand new, first time in this community, if this is your first time, I'm going to just invite you to stand up so we can give you a warm welcome. I know we have a couple of new timers. Yes, thank you. Welcome, 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 welcome. From our hearts to yours, you have a place that you can come and you can celebrate yourself. Right now, we're just going to give you a little blessing. So with all the veterans, repeat after me. Welcome to CSL. We know who you are. You are the divine presence of God. You are blessed and you are a blessing. We love you. We bless you. And we thank Spirit for you. Welcome to CSL. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you're new, again, some of us already know this, we celebrate the diversity of all religions. We don't believe there's any right or wrong way to celebrate. And people will come to me and said, Rev, what are you? What's your religion? I always say I'm a universalist because I pull from the universe. I am inspired by the universe. But on the first Sunday of every month, we do something called the Flames of Faith. And this is our ceremony for today. CSL is a part of a global organization, over 500 centers worldwide. Wow. We are a spiritual community that honors all religions and all faiths. We know that there is no wrong way to worship. Whether you are lighting a candle, repeating a mantra, or offering a prayer, we respect and honor any way that gets us closer to Spirit. So we celebrate the diversity in religious practices with our ceremony this morning, Flames of Faith. The candles lit for the Tao, to honor the universal path of harmony and natural way. The candles lit for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people. The candles lit for Hinduism, to honor the spiritual path of devotion and the variety of religious icons and deities. The candles lit for Judaism, to honor the path of sacred law. The candles lit for Buddhism, to honor the Four Noble Truths and the way of compassion. The candles lit for Christianity to honor the Christ consciousness that lives within all of us. The candles lit for Islam to honor the path of peaceful submission to the will of God. The candles lit for the universal religion of Baha'i to honor the path of unity. The candles lit for our own faith, new thought, ageless wisdom, to honor the metaphysical path and the practices of universal spiritual principles. And finally, the 10th candles lit for peace and for the peaceful acceptance of all faiths and the spiritual practices worldwide. And so it is. So we have practitioners that are coming up on this stage here to represent our practitioner corps. I'm going to give a beautiful shout out to our practitioner Prac 2 students that have passed their written exams and they're going into, yes, give them some love. That is not an easy thing to do, people. Yes. And this week they go for their oral panels, which is the last step, and we have a bunch of new practitioners that are going to be serving right here, and I am so grateful. So we honor your path to practitioner. But I have one practitioner that's coming up right now to support and to represent the practitioner corps. This practitioner I've known for a very long time, and I love her dearly. You've heard her speak on the stage, and she's, for me, one of my favorite speakers. I love her. And I'm grateful that she represents not only our practitioner corps, but our staff ministers as well. So please give Reverend Tina some love as she makes her way up onto the stage. I love you.
Good morning, CSL. Just taking you all in. Thank you. So this is our time where we just invoke this truth through prayer and add to the energy and the tone and the vibration already created in this room through everything that it's already transpired. So if you're willing, I just invite you to go within with me. You can close your eyes. You don't have to. And I'm going to actually ask you to participate with me, because this is a co-creative process, this thing that we are living in, this life itself. And I always begin my prayers with gratitude. It brings me from my head to my heart. So CSL community here live or live streaming, just what are you grateful for today? Just bring it up in your own awareness. Feel it in your heart space. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful and thankful for each and every individual's willingness to be here, to be now, to participate in this thing called life with an open heart and open mind and open soul, to see, to feel, to experience the presence of God that is everywhere. That is more than just a word. That is more than just an image. This thing that I call God is all that there is, expressing so uniquely, individually, and perfectly in, through, and as all life itself. The beauty, the perfection, the order, the grace, the wisdom, the abundance. It is endless. It is infinite. It is eternal. It is the truth of who and what I am. It is the truth of each and every individual being, sentient, non-sentient creation on this planet. We are one with love itself that has birthed it all forth. And so how grateful I am from this space to this word of thanksgiving for this service that has already transpired, already unfolded in the mind of the infinite. And that this is just preparation, meeting the moment of opportunity for creation to happen. And that is the very space and place in which Rev Skip has created within his own self, prepared his consciousness to meet this opportunity to share this unique and divine, individual, perfect message on this day. That we each wake up to the potential, the possibility, and the freedom that we have in our life through the words that he speaks and what he presents for us on this day. This is what I'm knowing to be true for this service, for each of us, and the possibility present in this moment and all moments of our life. Thank you, God. And so it is. So we have a reading every week, and we choose a book of the month, and it is our first Sunday of the month, so we have a new book. And our selected reading comes from that book, which is Invisible Supply by Joel S. Goldsmith, and is entitled The Principle of Supply. So Webster's dictionary gives the word principle as a synonym for God. And Christian Science uses it as such as well. In the infinite way, we use the word principle to mean specifically the principles of life upon which our work and our consciousness are founded. We need principles from which to work and upon which to stand if we are to rise above blind faith, as we must. There are principles in every business, in every art, in every profession, in every line of work. Those who abide by these principles from which to I lost myself. Those who abide by these principles, even though they may have many struggles, eventually achieve success. In our work, it is more so. We need principles with which to work because we are continuously faced with appearances of discord, that is, dis-ease, in every form: old age, death itself, lack, limitation, and poverty. Spiritual teachings tell us that we will have the poor with us always, and we certainly will have them until the principle of supply is understood. And we will have sickness until the principle of health is understood. The infinite way principle of supply is that in our oneness with God, we already have all that the universe has, because I and the universe are one. And all the universe has is mine. If we individually are experiencing a lack, it is not because of any actual lack. It is because of our inability to make contact with our supply. And so it is. Sorry, Todd.
Thank you, Reverend Tina. That was an impeccable invocation. I didn't even pay attention to the reading. It was beautiful. Not yet. We have many activities here at CSL. For more information and registration, you can go to cslftl.org or to the CSL app. Reverend Skip mentioned our prayer practitioners. We have many of them here, and they're available for you after the service here in the sanctuary if you need prayer, if there's a condition you're in, and you need someone just to remind you of who you are, they are here for you. So I'd like to ask the practitioners to please stand, and we'll welcome them. You can also hear prayer anytime on our prayer line at 954-990-5625, or just go to our app and there's actually a prayer button. You just have to tap that once and you'll hear the prayer. We have a youth center. A wonderful team shares the same theme that we teach during service, but in a youthful approach. Feel free to swing by before or after service to our youth center to learn more. We're also looking for sacred service volunteers to assist with the youth program, so please contact Reverend Candy for additional information. You are invited to join us for flow meditation and gentle yoga every Wednesday and Friday at noon here in the sanctuary with Reverend Skip. And I'm going to ask Reverend Skip to come here to the stage. He is going to have a retreat on July 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., the Silent Integration and Emotional Wellness Retreat. Please stop by the events desk or website for more details, and Reverend Skip's going to share some insights about it with
I
you
will
all
be
now.
your personal invitation. How many of us have ever come to a retreat in this sanctuary? Let me ask you a question. Is it life-changing? Did you get something out of it? Did you grow? Look at the person next to you and tell them you need to be here on Saturday. So I want to invite you. So some people are very nervous about this word silent. It is in the silence where we will know everything. We will know God, we'll know love, we'll know our self-worth. Sometimes we have to shut off the talking and the listening, what we're hearing outside of ourselves, then. Now, the whole retreat will not be silent. It will be listening. We're going to be doing some incredible things. We have a guided meditation, visioning, a walking, silent meditation. We also have a new gong practitioner that's bringing in, I think, 10 gongs to do our sound bowl healing and sound healing. We also have my friend, Michael. You can raise your hand. Where are you, Michael? Michael God's there. Normally you sit over there. Michael's going to be teaching us some ideas of how we can release the falseness of ourselves to tap into who and what we are. And guess what? We're going to feed you. We're going to do yoga. And don't worry about the yoga. The yoga I teach is very gentle because I like it gentle. And we're going to be doing Qigong, energy movement. We have a whole day planned for you from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. The day goes by so quick, but I guarantee you it's going to change your life. It's $70 for the full day, and that's a good price. I've gone to retreats where I've spent thousands for one day. $70 to come to change your life. And guess what? Your transformation is priceless, and so are you. I want to see you here. Participate with us. It's going to be life-changing. Sign up today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Reverend Skip. Please join us for that retreat. In addition, on Saturday, July 29th from 9:30 to 4 p.m., Hiding in Plain Sight, Finding Your Doorway into Truth with special guest Helen Hamilton will be here. Please visit our website or the events desk for more information. We also have a message from Helen that Andrew and Jerry are going to play now. Thank you.
Welcome. My name's Helen Hamilton. I'm an awakening teacher, and I'd like to invite you to our wonderful event at the Center for Spiritual Living. That's going to be on Saturday the 29th of July, and that's 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. It's called Hiding in Plain Sight. So it's about finding our doorway into truth, finding what's authentic about ourselves, finding a deeper sense of peace and calmness, and exploring what's real, something that we can take into our lives and actually really make a difference to ourselves and other beings. So if this finds a place inside your heart, and join us. The cost is $79 to participate over Zoom, or $99 to be there in the room with us, and that includes lunch in that. I look forward to seeing you then. Namaste.
There you have it. Also, join the CSL family to create a beautiful community space under the full moon tomorrow, Monday, July 3rd. The gathering begins at 6 p.m. Please go to our website for more details. Dr. Chris Michaels is hosting another spiritual journey to Thailand and Cambodia. Spaces, so sign up today. Please note that the Opening to Yes workshop with Reverend Deborah Johnson has been rescheduled for August 1st. Our website has additional details. As a reminder, our offices will be closed here on Tuesday, July 4th in observance of the holiday. Lastly, CSL, please remember to visit our book stand where you can purchase the book of the month and other publications for your spiritual growth. Grab a t-shirt or two. Proceeds help to support our CSL community. Thank you.
one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. There's one power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. Whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. And we'll remember when we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul and it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, say it with us, one power. One power is what we are. Oh, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's the everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all things. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. All we are is one power, one power, one power. Oh, it's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one
One power, one power. Hey, Antonio, can you introduce our guest musicians for today?
You know, I forgot to do
That's
that.
okay. That takes a
I got
village.
wrapped up in the invocation as well.
I did too. It blew me away. That blew me away too. So,
So CSL family, please And on bass, we have Rafael Valencia, third on bass. And of course, welcome back our fabulous vocalist, Maylene is back. Thank you.
And welcome back, Antonio, being back as well. And I'm glad our bassist got the memo. It was all about the Hawaiian shirts. You did it right in your Hearing family.
And also our drummer.
And oh, yes, dude, you were gone last week too. Welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. So what would you say if I told you the power to change your life lives within you? What would you think or say if I told you that everything you've been looking for outside of yourself already lives within you? Would you believe it, yes or yes? Then why don't we act like it? Because most of us get it on an intellectual kind of basis, but that heart knowing that God lives within us takes practice. So I am so grateful to be here to talk about this week. We're moving into July. And if you follow 365 Science of Mind, it is the time of freedom. But what we're really tapping into is spiritual independence. And in spiritual independence, there's prosperity, there's abundance, and infinite possibilities. So that's what you're going to be hearing this month. And I'm grateful for this new book that we have for our book of the month. It's called Invisible Supply by Joel S. Goldsmith. And if you don't have it, I say this every time, don't I? If you don't have this book, you're missing something special. This book is the first book that I really got information that God is. Because, see, there's no half-stepping. You either believe that God is or you believe God isn't. And when we try to get in that halfway with one foot in the door and one foot out the door, this is when we get confused. See, spiritual independence and authority comes from knowing your divine connection with God. And once again, I'm not talking about a God outside yourself. I'm talking about a God that lives within you. This God that we know to be ourselves. And that takes some time to get there. Today we're going to uncover and we're going to use two questions. The first question we're going to uncover is, what is supply? Before we can talk about a principle of supply and creating a principle around prosperity, we have to know, what is supply? And the second question we're going to unpack is, how does supply show up as a principle in and as our life? So one of my favorite Karen Drucker songs, she talks about principle as supply as prosperity. My favorite Drucker song is, God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Come through, church. Come through, chorus. This chant is so powerful because it states, what is supply? God. And how do we use it? And she talks about giving thanks, and here's the story. If you want prosperity, you got to step through the door of gratitude. Gratitude is your doorway to prosperity. When you are grateful for life itself, you will see your life unfolding. You will see it expanding. But it begins with gratitude first. This is why I love Reverend Tina. She talks about starting her prayer in gratitude. Gratitude is the game changer. So we look at that word supply, and I love that we use that song, my faith song, God is. Because that's what supply is. And when we talk about, we're talking about love. We're talking about the absolute presence of unconditional love. This love that has created life itself. It's created everything. It created us. This is love without a caveat, without a condition. The love that is absolute, that just is. It's the highest vibration of life itself. This is the love we're talking about. This is the God we're talking about. We're talking about a God that is abundant, a God that continues to expand more of itself, that's never ending. Abundance is our birthright. It is our connection with spirit. So we're talking about an abundant God. We're talking about a God that is prosperous. And when we look at that word prosperity, it means that we're ever flourishing, we're ever growing, we're ever expanding. One of the classes that I took at Agape, that some of us here in this room took, it's called To Share, Plenty to Spare. And this class teaches us that prosperity that that we know that we have enough to give. Because when I give to you, y'all, I give to myself. Because the law of oneness says there's only one of us here. So we give from a place of a prosperous life that know that it's never ending, that we can never run out of our goodness. Because goodness is who we are. This God I'm talking about is a God of infinite possibilities. Some of us are working within the finite of our past. So we're looking at the possibilities. We go, oh yeah, infinite possibilities. Let me try it this way. I tried it before and it didn't work. So guess where we are? In a limited thought pattern. We have to understand that infinite possibilities mean that we haven't seen it before, y'all. We have to be open and willing to see a new idea of how God shows up as our life so that we may manifest a life that we desire. Infinite possibility means that it's unlimited possibilities. So if it didn't work the way you tried it before, and you tried it before, and you tried it before, and you tried it before, it's time for you to do something different. Are you with me, CSL? So infinite possibilities mean look for the newness in this God is the source of all things. It is the source of all things, and it is available to everyone. Some of us, we're in that old paradigm of the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. It's lack of limitation, y'all. We have to get beyond that thinking that I can only get so far because of my gender, because of my race, because of who I am. It is a source that is available to all of us. We have to be willing to open up the door and step through it. What I love about endless supply is this supply is endless. It teaches us that we must learn not to worry. See, some of us think that worry is a spiritual practice. It is not. Worry and shame and blame is not a spiritual practice. Now, I read a lot of different books. This is one of my favorite books. I read Course in Miracles. I read Science of Mind every single day. I read Science of Mind. I read the Quran. I read the Tao. I also read from the Bible. Now, some of y'all getting a little sweaty dropping down your back. I said that B word, that Bible word. Let me tell you something, people. There's nothing wrong with the Bible. It's how it's being used to marginalize people. The Bible can give you a way of living. So the Bible I read from is from the Lamsa Bible, which is the actual language of Yeshua ben Joseph, also known as Jesus. The Lamsa Bible removes all the translation and gives you the pure facts. It gives you the language. So that's the Bible that I use. It is not condemning, it's inspiring. So I want you to close your eyes, go with it. I want you to listen to these verses with new ideas. See, some of us want to worry, but some of us don't want to worry. Matthew writes this, Matthew 6, 25, 26, and 27. Don't worry. And he writes this, so I tell you, don't worry about the food or drink you need to live, or about the clothes you need for your body. Life is more than food, and the body is more than clothes. Look at the birds in the air. They do not plant or harvest or store foods in the barn, but yet our Heavenly Father, Mother God, feeds them. And you know that you are worth more than the birds. You cannot add anything to your life by worrying about it. If you are worrying, you can open up your eyes now. If you're worrying, stop it. See, the Course in Miracles tells us that fear and love cannot occupy the same spot. So I'm going to say this, that worry and faith cannot occupy the same spot. The spot that we're occupying, we're talking about within your consciousness. Are you leaning into your worry? Or are you leaning into your faith? You have a choice. You have a choice. Infinite supply. I want you to think about this. Infinite supply is about abundant flow of provision. That means you will be provided all the time. It does not stop unless we stop it. And doesn't mean it's not flowing. It means that we're blocking the flow of our divine flow of divine. It never ends. It's constant. And it's available to everyone. Think about this. If we could meditate day that I am available to infinite supply. If we could meditate on that every single day, our life will change. We will see the prosperity flowing through and as our life. But it requires practice. When we think about infinite supply, it is our higher self. See, we have our human incarnation, and that's our smaller self, but we have a higher self. Our true nature is divine. It is the higher vibration of life itself. It is divine. That is who and what we are. It is our higher self when we're talking about infinite supply. Supply can be accessed by aligning our consciousness, our thinking, our feelings with the law. And if you're new, the law is another word for the universe, God for love. The law is how it shows up in our life. See, align everything we do, how we show up, how we work with others, how we pray, how we meditate, how we come through this door, how we drive on the highway, how we go through Publix. We must align ourselves with the law so we can see the evidence of the law working within us. That's what I'm talking about. Do you hear me, CSL? Everything that God is everything that supply is. I am, therefore I have everything I need. And I remember my mother used to say, and Tony, your mama used to probably say this too, and say this quite often. You know, God doesn't show up when we want God to show up, but God will always show up when we need God to show up. Know this truth. All needs are met, not all wants, not all desires, because we could want Pookie and Nene to be in our life, and Pookie and Nene could be God cleverly disguised as a crazy person. And you call Pookie and Nene in your life. See, if God gave me everything I wanted, I would be a mess. Not to say I'm not a mess today, but I'm a divine, beautiful mess. I love it. Here's the thing about infinite supply, y'all. Infinite supply is an inner realization, an inner revelation versus an external acquisition. See, we can acquire a lot of things in our life. And everything we acquire has an expiration date. That new car you just bought, when you drove it off the lot, you know it depreciated. That house you just got, you acquired the house. But what happens when the hurricane comes? When the floods of life come? You know that love relationship that you wanted so much, you wanted to be in a love relationship, and you got in that love relationship, and Pookie don't love you no more. What happens? See, we can acquire things and it has an expiration date, but infinite supply says, I will never run out on you. I will never run out on you. So we look at supply, and we're getting an idea of what supply is, but we have to take clear and conscious understanding of what a principle is. When we look at the principle, and I love this principle that came from our reading today, and I love this, and I began to really contemplate 20 years ago when I first read this. Joel S. Goldsmith tells us this. If we individually are experiencing a lack, it is not because of any lack. It is because of our inability to make contact with our supply. Check that out, y'all. In the mind of God, there is no lack or limitation. Our problem, our challenges, is that we cannot connect with supply. So we're out here by ourselves, all in our head, trying to make things work. And Spirit just says, if you would stop and be still and know, I will give you the answer. So we look at a principle, and I'm talking about a spiritual principle. So every principle that we have, that we create for ourselves, is for spiritual growth, because we are here on earth to grow spiritually. We are here on this earth to grow spiritually. That's it. We're here to know our divine self. So all these principles is about knowing our divine self in a deeper way. We're talking about spiritual principle, the foundation and beliefs of our values. What do you truly believe about abundance and prosperity? What do you truly believe about your connection as God? What do you truly believe about compassion and kindness and spirituality and your spiritual community. What do you truly believe? See, when we set up a principle, it is about our belief. And our belief comes from the statements we tell ourselves over and over again that becomes factual to us. We're creating principle here about prosperity. A guide for spiritual growth. A guide that we learn to live our life. It's our North Star. We learn how to move and groove as spirit. That's what spiritual principle is all about. It's an ethical framework for living a spiritual life. So I want to share some of my spiritual principles. And I say my spiritual principles because I need you to have your own spiritual principle. I want you to hear what we say from this pulpit, from our classes, from our meditation, and you must create spiritual practices for yourself, spiritual principles for yourself. It's not about what we say, it's about what you believe. So create your own spiritual principles for your own spiritual growth. So my spiritual principle I want to share with you is this. God is all that there is. It took me a long time to really understand what that means. Because when I got into New Thought, it was like, oh, God is a good stuff. God is when we sing those chants with Ricky Beebe. God is when we're at Agape. God is this, God is that, God is that. And then I would leave on a Sunday to my Monday going, that ain't God. You need to come to Agape. You need to have a little bit of an opening and awakening in your mind. But let me tell you something. God is all that there is. This is what Faith Rivera was saying in her song. So beautiful. God is where you play. God is where you come to church. God is where you eat. God is where you go everywhere. It is because you are God in the flesh. So God is. It took me a long time, because I really wanted to separate God from my heartache. It wasn't until I realized my transformation was happening because of my heartache. My transformation was happening because I was going through my tears, because I was going through my breakthroughs, because there are no breakdowns, people. There are only breakthroughs to the next iteration of your spiritual self. That is what we're on this journey for. So God is. Another principle that I live by. Practicing love and compassion is the center of spirituality. And I'm talking about practicing love and compassion with yourself so you can practice love and compassion with everyone else you meet, because it starts with self. See, if we're not showing kindness and compassion in every opportunity we have, we are not in the midst of our spiritual practice. Kindness and compassion is the center of spirituality. Here's another one that I recently learned since coming to Florida. Divine authenticity is being true to my spiritual self. Let me say that again. Divine authenticity is being true to my spiritual self. That means to show up the way God created me. Black, queer, and fabulous. See, once we understand that God has created us right where we are supposed to be and who we're supposed to be, and we celebrate that, we are in our divine authenticity. That's something that took a long time to understand. Here's another one of my spiritual principles. I am one with the universe, therefore I have everything the universe is. The universe is love, therefore I am love. The universe is peace, I am peace. The universe is abundance, therefore I am abundant. The universe is prosperous, therefore I'm prosperous. The universe is whole and complete, therefore I am whole and complete. Some days we feel like it, some days we are doubting ourselves. This is why spiritual principles are so important, that we can turn to it in our moments of doubt and fear. We can turn to what we know, even if we don't feel it. Here's another one. When I practice gratitude, the universe gives me more to be grateful for. When I practice gratitude, the universe shows me how full my life is. Last week, I went through a life-changing experience, aka a birthday. And I'm sitting in my bed the day before my 59th birthday. And I'm all in my feels. I'm all into my should-haves and would-haves. Don't should on yourself. I should have had this house. I should have. It wasn't until after I turned 59 the next day, Spirit was saying, now are you done with yours? Can you see what you just did, what you were doing? You took 25 people to Bali and had a phenomenal time. You are a spiritual leader at a very vibrant community. Look at your life. Stop getting into the should-haves. So I got grateful. And then right after that, more abundance and prosperity started to flow my way. As soon as I had the realization, someone who's here and lives in Miami says, listen, I'm getting married. Can you come to Miami? I'm going to pay you this amount of money to do my wedding. I'm like, well, this is last minute. It's okay. We'll make it worth your while. So when we see the abundance in our life, it flows, and abundance will flow. So how do we take principle and how do we take supply and create a principle supply for our life? Number one, your divine connection is key. Because all the power that you have, all the independence from what the world says, independent from what people think about you, independence for you to stand in your spiritual authority, comes from your divine connection to spirit. That's why we have a unification step in our prayer, because that is where our true power is. Gratitude will shift us, but unification will give us the power to speak the affirmative prayer. Number two, trust that all needs are met, not wants, not desires. Trust that all needs are met, that you're right where you need to be, and everything that is required for you to do you, it's already within you. All needs are met. Number three, practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is your doorway to prosperity. Number four, look for the abundance. Sometimes we are so conditioned to see what's not working. So we see lack and limitation. Once we say, this needs to change for it to be okay with me, then you're working in a place of lack and limitation. Step into the abundance of life, the fullness of God. Number four, align your beliefs with your energy, your vibration, your thoughts. Align them with the law. See, that's when we really begin to see a different life, when we are aligning ourselves with God. Number six, gratitude, generosity, sharing. When we are grateful for what we have, we are able to release and to give, because as I give in generosity and sharing, I receive. Here's another one. Let go of the certain outcome you want. See, we try to put God in a box. We say, God, I need to be blessed like this. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. Stop telling God what you want, so then you are free to see what it really is. See, here's the thing. We can't put God in a box. So why are we putting our blessings in a box? Whenever I pray for a certain something, I always say this or something better. See, we do want wholeness if we're in the middle of a condition of sickness. We do want the demonstration of abundance and prosperity when we're dealing with lack and limitation, because as Goldsmith says, there is really no lack. There is just our inability. So touch with spirit. Here's the last step. Listen, listen, listen. Listen to your divine self that is speaking to you always. Listen. God is always speaking, but are we always listening? If you're looking to open up the door of prosperity, you have to be willing to listen to spirit that lives within you. Listen, listen, listen. This is why we're doing a listening retreat this Saturday. Listen. I'll finish with this. CSL, God always has your back. But the question is, do you have yours? God has your back. But do you have yours? And what I mean by that is we must practice these principles to know that God has our back. Love is always flowing. Prosperity is always flowing. We don't always know it because we don't always have our back. See the good in you. See the life in you. See the love in you. See the prosperity in you. This is what I know. CSL, are you with me? That was a good yes, but not good enough. CSL, are you with me? Yes. Then my work is done. And so it is. I'm passionate about God because I truly believe the life-changing movement that we have here at CSL, I believe it because my life has changed. See, when I walked through the door of Science of Mind, I did not feel connected. I did not feel love. I did not feel like I wanted to live. But I walked into Science of Mind, I walked into Agape, and I just cried because I felt love. I felt it. I felt the change. I know it's real. I know Spirit's real. So if you're here for the first time, again, I welcome you. You are in a place of love. I welcome you from my heart to your heart. Thank you. Thank you for saying yes on this independent weekend, spiritual independence we are celebrating. So this is the time that we tap into sustainability. And what that means is we tap into our 3 T's, time, talent, treasure. For any spiritual community or even nonprofit or whatever, it requires these 3 things. Time, you being here, time, you serving is your time. Your talent is showing up and saying, you know what, I can do that. I can be an office angel for you once a week. I can usher. I can, because I have a talent for it. What's your talent? And the thing that we're going to participate now is your treasure. See, it requires a giving from a place of your heart. It requires your energy, also known as money. I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward as we begin to pass the plate. This is also a spiritual practice. It is called the law of circulation. When we circulate, that is how we shall receive, is how we give. See, we are prosperous divine beings. We have enough to give. And if you want to see these doors stay open, we need you. It's average about $45 a Sunday per seat to keep this door open. So today I want you to think about that when attendance down a little bit, people are out doing their fun stuff, it's all good because I already know that we are abundantly taken care of. All needs are met. So now we get to show it in this practice. At home, we're going to give you the opportunity to be blessed, to be a blessing and to be blessed. You can go to our website, cslftl.org, and you can hit the give button and to give, or go to our app, hit the give button as well. Tap into your practice. PL members, hey, it stands for The Prosperous Life. We named it right, so every time we say TPL, we're speaking an affirmation into the world, the prosperous life. If you want to live a prosperous life, where we give on a monthly basis continuously so we can see the growth and elevation of the Center for Spiritual Living Fort Lauderdale. So let's go within, let's give a little prayer of gratitude. So I am so grateful for this opportunity for us to be together, for us to celebrate spiritual independence together. I'm so grateful for us to take time to listen, to sing, to dance, to laugh, to cry, to come together as a divine family. I am so grateful that know that the one power, the one presence, one mind is prosperous. It's abundant. And everything that God is, we are. Everything we are, God is. So therefore, we are abundant and prosperous. So I give thanks for all the energy that has been transmuted into ministries, into events, into social gatherings, into our Sunday service. I am so grateful that we get to use these funds for the elevation of spirit of love. So I know that all needs are met. So I simply allow all this to be in spirit. And so it is. So we are. Ushers, go out and multiply. Thank you. Oh, yes. Antonio, I'm so glad you brought that back. I love that song. Every morning for the next 7 days, I want you to wake up. The first thing I want you to say to yourself, I'm more than enough. And see how your life rolls. I guarantee you will see a shift. We believe in meditation in this community. In fact, we meditate every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And I've been hearing things by the meditation team and from those who are meditating. Thank you so much. And we end our service with meditation as well. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. In honor of our listening meditation, I'm going to bring forth one of the things that we're going to be doing. One of the meditations, and the meditation is just all about opening up your inner ear and hearing what you hear. There is a chant, and this chant is done by a brother named Astarius, and he's been a deep spiritual teacher for me when it comes to mantras and listening. So today, I just want you to open up your inner ear and listen. Close your eyes, go within and just breathe. Use your breath. Breathe in, breathe out.
Abundance is my pride. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the valley fire, with my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension. Hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude, I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my pride. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the valley fire, with my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my prize. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire. Enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the valley fire, wake my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my prize. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram fire, wake my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my pride. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the valley fire, wake my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my pride. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the wake my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my pride. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the valley fire, wake my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my pride. Hemdram the valley fire, ascension frequency, I hemdram the valley fire, joy enfolding me, I hemdram the valley fire, power, wisdom, love, I hemdram the valley fire, with water above. Hemdram the valley wake my lucid dream, I hemdram the valley fire, into ascension be my hemdram the valley fire, in gratitude I rise, I hemdram the valley fire, abundance is my pride. Hemdram the the violet fire, ascension frequency, I am the violet fire, joy enfolding me, I am the power, wisdom, love, I am the violet fire, unwaverable. Hendriam the violet fire, wake my lucid dream, I Hendriam the violet fire, and do ascend. I Hendriam the violet fire, in gratitude I rise, I Hendriam the violet fire, abundance is my pride. Hendriam the violet fire, ascension frequency, I Hendriam the violet fire, joy enfolding me, I Hendriam the violet fire, power, wisdom, love, I Hendriam the violet fire, one with water above. Hendriam the violet fire, awake my lucid dream, I Hendriam the violet fire, into ascension be my Hendriam the violet fire, in gratitude I rise. Hendriam the violet fire, abundance is my pride. Hendriam the violet fire, ascension frequency, I Hendriam the violet fire, joy enfolding me, I Hendriam the violet fire, power, wisdom, love, I Hendriam the violet fire, one way God above. Hendriam the violet fire, lucid dream, I Hendriam the violet fire, into ascension be my Hendriam the violet fire, in gratitude. Hendriam the violet fire, abundance is my pride. Hendriam the violet fire, ascension frequency, I Hendriam the
So we're
violet
taking the
fire,
chance.
Hendriam.
We're taking the chance. We're taking the words and the vibration and the energy and the sound into our hearts. And what do we hear? I am that I am. Abundance, prosperity, the evolution that is taking place in our consciousness. It's a chord of mystical memory. There's a spiritual unfoldment that's happening in the words. So we get just to remember. And we finish this meditation with a collective Om. So bring our hands in prayer together. Let's take a deep breath in. Release the breath. Inhale for your Om. Inhale. Om. And so it is. Thank you, CS, for joining us on this spiritual independence weekend that will carry on through the rest of our life. I am so grateful you said yes. And now it's time for our affirmation, so I'm going to invite you to stand up and grab your affirmation. Don't forget to sign up for our silent retreat that's coming up in Helen Hamilton at the end of the month. And don't forget on Tuesday, don't come here because we're not going to be open. So happy Independence and Love Day, y'all. So let's do our affirmation together. Remember, we're doing a little bit different now. Repeat after me, line after line, with gusto and enthusiasm. I'll say it first, and then y'all will say it. All right, let's do this. Today, I live a life filled with abundance and prosperity. Yes. Really, Ray? Is that you? I'm one with infinite possibilities. The source blesses me. And my life is good. And so it is, y'all. So let's remember this together. There's only one power, one presence, one source, and that is our life. The source energy is abundant, prosperous. We are living vibration of God. That is who and what we are. So as we leave out of here, taking what we learned from our intellect, we move it into the experiential experience of everything. This is what I know. And people that will meet us will go, there's something different about you. What is it? And our response will be, come to CSL and find out. This is what I give thanks for. This is a beautiful Sunday, a beautiful day. And I simply allow all this to be in spirit. And so it is. And so we are. Amen. At home, we'll be here next week, 10:30, same time. And for the rest of us, let's stay in this community together and sing our final song, This Is My Wish. Happy Independence Weekend, y'all. Oh, we sure do. Hi. Princess Leia. Hi. I am so grateful you're here. This is my wish for the world, that peace will find its way.
every boy and girl. This is the time of harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings.
Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Oh, 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 yeah. Peace on earth. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Happy Independence. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you for taking part in today's live stream. Your participation means so much to us. Remember, there's several ways to give. Click on the donate button here on Facebook or donate at our homepage, cslftl.org. There's also a regular giving program called TPL, where you can set up a monthly contribution. You'll find details on our webpage, cslftl.org. Here's a great way to stay in touch with CSL Center for Spiritual Living. Our brand new app is available in the App Store under Center for Spiritual Living, FL, and that's Florida. Stay in touch, and thank you again for participating in our live stream. We'll see you soon.